Okay, so I'm here with a Peterbilt, as you can see right here, with a Cummins, and don't know what the hell happened. Oh shoot! But sorry, I'm in the sun, so that piece broke off. That is the diagram. And I want to make sure that you guys get all of this. So, sorry, one-handed. I'll put it in the description below. I'll keep this with me also, but this is what we had to change out because that piece broke off. This is the new model right here. Tools you're gonna need, I believe, is a 14, 13, and then you're gonna need it an extension with a socket so that you can get right here to get these two back bolts. I'm gonna show you right now what I'm talking about. So the belt broke, or that piece broke, which is right here. The upgraded version, the belt is only 34 inches long. We put the new bracket in, and now we need a belt that's 35 inches long, and we got one that's 35.25 inch long, so that kind of works out. Changing the belts out over here again is making it brand new. We gave a wire brush, cleaned this out. We replaced the AC compressor because the belts, well, that piece broke off. I'm gonna wait to replace my fan for right now. I'm not too worried about that. The blades still work and they still give enough cooling, so I can live with maybe 2 weeks or a week before I gotta go to New Jersey and come back. So one of the things you want to do, remove your turbo line inlet from the intercooler and access all of this. I believe those are 14 right there. That's a 13. Loosen that up. You don't have to take that out. Remove that. Of course, you're going to remove all of these, the 4 bolts, the 4 bolts here. You don't have to literally disconnect your battery. You can take everything and literally put it up here. First, remove this. One of the first things I'm going to tell everyone is make sure you evacuate it properly. Safety comes first. Do not throw it up in the air. I'm in the state of California. They catch you doing this, it's an automatic 30 days behind bars with $1 million fine. So I don't think you want to be doing that, and it's not even worth it. So make sure you get it evacuated properly. I put this on just to make sure that it is totally evacuated, just to make sure before I release it over here and this goes into my face. Safety goggles. See me working with my hands, bare hands, because I'm used to this, but when you're working with refrigerant, you want gloves. Once you disconnect this is a 10mm back here. These are 13 right here. Remove that. You can take the compressor out, disconnect it from here, and she's all gone. You come down here, do the same thing. You don't have to necessarily take this bar out, so you can remove this and set it up right here. Just make sure that the back plugs don't touch anything metal, and lay it perfectly right up on top. Then you can come, and it's going to be a 13. There's going to be one up here, one at the bottom, and then you're going to have these two right here. There's one on the front. This is why this cage is here. You want to remove this first before you even tackle these right here. remove this, go after this one. There's one behind it, go after that one. You don't necessarily need to remove this. Then what you're gonna do is with your hammer, you're gonna tap one end this way, and I'm meaning a light tap. You don't have to go, monstrosity. Just tap back this way, and then 2 or 3 taps this way, and the whole cage comes forward, and you pull up, and she comes right out. Same way you take it out, it's the same way you put everything back in. Slide it in, put your pins in, tighten them down, torque them down to the right spec. I put mines at 30 foot-pounds just to make sure that it is nice and snug. Remember, it is aluminum, you don't want to over torque them. And put a little bit of anti-seize at the end of the threads. And then you can come alternator, and then your AC compressor. And then you can put your belt on and belt in, but because I don't know if they made a boo-boo on the pulley right here. So you can see that I'm spinning right here, this one right here. It's either a little too big, but I'm assuming it's the same one. And the way it was a little bit further up and out, so the pulley kind of stretched out. But it is still working. Just make sure you get the upgraded belt. 34 inches stock, 35 inches with the upgrade. Or I guess the upgrade version, or what you want to call the recall version. I can't even say it's a recall, but the modified generation that superseded it version. And then you can put everything back on. You can grab your turbo tube, put it back in. Everything else will be buttoned up, and then you can go ahead and start it. One of the other things that I'm also doing is my DPF filter. So this is my model. They say you can't clean this yourself, you got to replace it. So I'm looking for any cracks, any wear, anything that may have damaged anything in here. And please be very gentle with this when you're moving it. So you're gonna need a 13 millimeter. Well, mine's is located behind the tank. I don't want to really get back down here, but if you follow that tube where that canister is, in between there is my DPF filter, which is that puppy right there. It's about 1100 my price. Everywhere else is about 24 or 25, in between there, give and take depending on where you go. And God forbid if you're outside any city, you're gonna get slammed for that, especially on big rigs. These motherfuckers in the shop be upbidding or uppricing anywhere from 50 to 75% on parts. This is why I am a self-owner, self-operator, self-technician, and I will work on my own vehicle and spend my time, because I am not spending 8 hours for them to change something that took me 30 minutes to take off. So I have engineering skills, but I'd rather be my own boss behind the roads. This is my other vehicle that I'm selling right now. 30K, whoever wants that's a Pro Star. But this is my baby right here. And this is my other little baby. Same system, same catalyst, same. Well, I'm glad I don't have a DPF filter. Oil's kind of getting a little, well, the fuel system is getting a little dirty. I usually don't like it to go beyond that. I know I'm halfway through my system. This collects a lot of the debris and impurity in the diesel, like the biosystem, and it separates the system. So you're looking almost like a filtration on top of another filtration because it has a fuel filter on top of it. Everything else on my baby is okay. We just got back from Washington, dropping off a load over at Budweiser. But let's see if you can get a clearer shot on the DPF filter from here. I can get on my floor, on the knees at least. But there you go. So that's where your DPF filter sits in. That's what they charge you almost 3 hours to take off. And that's what I took 15 minutes and dropped that baby down with that wrench that you see right there. That's a 13 with the clamp. And look at what I'm using. A scissor jack. You don't have to have great ingenuity or all these tools to get into it. I did it simple with just basically every tools that we carry on the road. As you can see, some of my blades are okay. I'm glad that it didn't mess up my radiator. But when that sucker broke, that sucker spun off and I guess must have hit and went somewhere because I do not see it anywhere else. No AC coming back, which I was kind of glad that the weather was kind of cool. So I'm going to end this video right here. Again, this is the Peterbilt with a Cummins engine, a 2010 engine, even though it's a 2015. We changed what they call the accessory bracket. I'm trying to see what details it has, but as you can see, that is what it is right there. Excuse me. And it shows you the explosion. You want to take these off out of the other one. Okay, make sure you remove these two out of the old one. And you want it to look like this, bare, butt naked. Oh, and since this is aluminum, this cost you, what did I pay for this? $125 at Kenworth, my price. I believe if everyone else is like $250, $280, almost $300 for this. Since it's all solid aluminum and they've been painted on, all I got to do is just take the paint off and what do you call it? Sell it to the scrapyard. I can even sell it like that, but I want, you know, the maximum money. I return back, and all I gotta do is remove these pins right here, which are steel, and that makes that 100% aluminum. And you can either melt it down or, you know, scrap it, and that's about at least $75 in aluminum. So that right there is a couple of days of you collecting cans. But anyway, those are for the ones who are environmentally conscious. And I have to be that way because, again, I'm out here in California. This is Lincoln, California, where I park my truck at, and I drive into Sacramento. Again, this is a Peterbilt. As you can see right there, Peterbilt with a Cummins engine. I'm almost at the million-mile marker, and it's almost time for the engine overhaul. So I guess the next trip that I do and come back, it will be time for an engine overhaul. Transmission's been done, got new clutch, got everything new, so she's good to go again, back on the road. So just Small little details. Again, you know, she's been very loyal to me. I paid, I think it was 28,000. It was completely gutted out, and little by little restoring it to where she was fully functional. And this is me restoring my truck right back to the original components, everything original with some little add-ons. You know, to make it home away from home, I really want to remove the bottom bunk and leave the top bunk and turn the bottom into like a little small office where I can sit down and just wait. But I had to make money first, and that all takes time and process. So it's just a work in progress, little by little.